Kairat. So I would like just to ask a few questions.
Sure.
So, Kairat, what do you say to students that don't like studying particularly mathematics?
Mathematics. Okay. Me being a math tutor, my experience, it's very common everywhere, not only in Hong Kong, that students hate maths and students don't really see the usefulness of maths. Oftentimes the students will say, oh, I hate math, math is boring, math is useless. And there is some truth to that. I don't necessarily disagree with those students. And I don't necessarily agree with those students as well. If we were to argue both ways, you can argue both ways. Ultimately, it depends on your viewpoint, but we can all agree that you guys want to pass your exams. All the students want to pass, maybe some exceptions, and to do that, you better don't hate math. Even if you hate math, I would hear students say, oh, I hate math, and in my opinion, those phrases don't help students at all. They are very destructive statements. If I hate something, I'll just keep it to myself. If I say it out loud, I believe in the power of words. I believe that if you say something, it will just turn out to be true, and then it will be just manifest itself. And for example, I don't like waking up early, and if I accept that and take it into my life as a thing, then I'll be waking up late. And we all know scientifically that waking up earlier is a little bit better than waking up later. So yeah, that's my take on that. Better to not hate it. Even if you hate it, in my opinion, it's we shouldn't be saying that out loud. Disclaimer, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a certified teacher, I'm a tutor here. I help students with their homeworks and with their exams.
So where is math useful and where is it not useful?
Where is math useful? Yeah, to address this, and my answer will not contain arguing on one way or the other way. Me as a tutor, I can say only the things that are useful. Of course, the usefulness, I can also say that, but there are lots of uselessness than usefulness. So let's say, for example, probability. Probability is useful in the insurance space. So let's say insurance risk. All the insurance companies calculate the risks of some event happening and calculate the payments for those risks to insure their clients. Another application of probability is in casino or in stock markets. For example, you want to win good money, make good returns in stock market, you better know probability and statistics. And casino, you could calculate statistically that in casino the banker has an edge over the player, and in stock market you can calculate statistically that you as an investor could have an edge over the market if you use the correct strategies. So all that is done using probabilities, but of course there is more to that. It's not only mathematics, it's also management of stress, risk management, and all those good things. And we can give lots of other examples. For example, calculus seems to be the least useful area of mathematics, but believe it or not, it's useful in signal systems, in lights, in all those things that we don't really see as living day to day. Another application, for example, computer science. If you go to study computer science or become a programmer, you would need to know number theory, and we can go on and on and on. But of course, you will not be using it in daily life. You go to a restaurant, you want to calculate discount and then the fees and add them all up. In real life, in my opinion, it's just the useful thing is percentages and arithmetic skills. Yeah, that would be my rant. Uselessness, if you are a creative person or you're a media person or someone that even like in day-to-day life, we don't really use that heavily mathematics. So yeah, there's a truth to the statement that it's useful and it's useless. You can argue both ways. In the end, you guys want to pass the exams. So don't focus too much on being useless or useful, just focus on your exams.
Why do you personally like math?
Me personally liking math, so it goes back to my childhood. I was always good in maths, and I can talk a lot about that. So I had a teacher who would require us to hand in the problem to her in the first who hands in the problem, that guy wins. So I just developed my passion for maths from that primary school. I believe it goes back to primary school. It depends a lot on the foundations that are laid out in your childhood. What else? I like maths because as I tutor maths, I see students succeeding and students understanding some concepts, and when there's like a spark in the eyes and they understand aha moment, it's just you cannot describe that with words, and that's very impactful to students, even if it's not that useful in the grand scheme of things in real life. Math is just a very technical thing. It's not like relationships or managing the business or running the payroll in the company. It's very technical. In the grand scheme of things, yes, maybe it's we don't really appreciate the usefulness, but it goes back to usefulness. Why do I like it? It's just precise. I like precise answers. Math has always a precise answer, and I believe most of the other things don't really have the precise answers, but I'm not qualified to speak for other things. And one of the other things about the hate towards not only math but towards education as a whole, we don't really see the usefulness of education. Some students might feel like that, and it's just that, in my opinion, it's a system, it's a big system that manages all students around the world, and there are 2 billion or 1 billion students around the world, a huge number, and it's been built already over the years and years and years, and it will be quite hard to change the system. It's a solution to our education, but it's not perfect. No one's saying educational system that we have right now is perfect, but there's just no better alternative for it. What would you? Homeschooling is one of the alternatives. What would you not study from year 1 to year 13 until we reach the age of 18? This is a system that's been created. In my opinion, that's just one man's take. Lots of people will argue with me on that. It's just my opinion that there's just no better alternative, and until we come out with a better alternative where we take out all the maths, all the biology, all the chemistry out, we cannot. We need just to accept that this is the system that we have, educational system.
Do you have any final comments?
So to wrap this up, like why is this all for? Is we just keep hearing those comments from students, not only in Hong Kong and overseas. It seems like students everywhere are pretty similar to each other in terms of their study behaviors, and yeah. So basically, maths is bottom line is this. Here's the bottom line: you want to pass your exams, and whether you hate it or not, if you hate it and you say it out loud, then you'll probably do worse than the person who hates it and doesn't say it and doesn't complain about it and then just goes and solves the problems, gets things done, and then just does well in the exams. Rather than if you complain, then you probably will not do well. That's the sad reality of studying, and that's probably a good tip for you guys if you want the tip, not to complain and just to accept things as they are.
Okay, thanks, Kairat.
Thanks.